At some point, I'm probably going to do a full Jimquisition on some of the stuff surrounding Hatred, that game that's causing quite a bit of a stir. The game itself does very little for me either way, but everything surrounding it, all the controversy surrounding it, has been somewhat fascinating in a number of ways. But because I'm doing sort of year-end Jimquisition stuff right now, I probably won't get around to it until the new year, so I figured I'd do one of my rare little unscripted, laid-back, chilled-out discussions of the whole thing. And let's see if we can keep it chilled out and laid back, rather than go crazy into insults and anger and outrage and everything like we're seeing everywhere else. Right, so Hatred, the latest development in this game's rather tawdry tale, is Valve refusing the game a chance to be published on Steam via Steam Greenlight. The game introduced itself on Greenlight yesterday, got a ton of votes, ended up in like 7th place from all the people who clearly want to play this interesting bit of interactive art, and Valve within a few hours pulled it down. Unusual circumstance. Now, the backlash that Hatred has courted, let's be fair, has wanted and gotten, has clearly had an impact here. People have come out very strongly against the game. And of course some people have come out very strongly in favour of the game because, you know, all that political correctness, I hate it. That's part of what this game's goal is apparently to jam a finger in the eye of political correctness or something. So yeah, Valve's pulled it, and that's interesting, and obviously some people are very strongly in favour of this happening, very strongly against this happening. Some of my thoughts mirror, it's not identical, but some of my thoughts mirror what I said about Grand Theft Auto 5 and Target Australia. You know, a few things in this discussion that should be clarified, and bear in mind, clarification is not defence. People seem to confuse the two things. To clarify, this isn't a free speech issue. That's just a simple fact. A free speech issue is governmental, you know, actual laws passed down on high, criminalising what we can and can't say. That's free speech. This is something else. This is a business, a store basically, telling a company that it won't sell their product, which is a different issue. That's more of a private issue. You know, I find it interesting that some of the people angry about this are the same people who told me, when I told people that Steam needed quality control, that Steam is a private business and it can do what it likes. That argument can be flipped around here. Steam is a private, Valve, you know, is a private company, it can do what it likes with its own platform. My issue with this whole thing is, why didn't Steam do this sooner with games that really, really fucking deserved it? You know, whether or not Hatred deserves it or not, why was Air Control allowed to go up? You know, why is the Slaughtering Grounds up? That was through Greenlight. One thing that really confuses me about this whole issue is Valve's statement on it, which was more or less, we wouldn't publish this as Valve, therefore we won't allow it to be published via Greenlight. They said it a bit more wishy-washy than that, but that was their general sentiment, was if Valve wouldn't choose to publish it, then Greenlight can't allow it to be chosen for publishing, which is interesting because it says to me that Valve would publish The Slaughtering Grounds, would publish Forsaken Uprising, would publish Air Control, Earthia 2066, any other number of games that were allowed to go up. You know, let's look at some of my greatest hits on my channel. I'm going to click on my Squirty Play playlist and have a look at some of the shit that Valve is saying it would have its name proudly next to. Things like Haunted House Cryptic Graves, things like fucking, where are we, The World 2 Hunting Boss, things like, well, fucking Infestation Survivor Stories, one of the famous ones. things like Dark Shadows, a game I rewatched this morning, my video of, and even though I played it, I still can't believe that fucking thing was allowed to go up. You know, just Pineview Drive. These are games that are actually broken. These are broken scam job games, games that have no business being sold, games that I've been, you know, railing against for over a year now on this channel. Alpha Xylon. Alpha Xylon. That game, you know, I think should be tried in The Hague for its crimes against civilization. But it's up there to be sold for money. You know, this isn't a defense of hatred as a thing. You know, that's a debate for another time. That's what I'm going to say on you know, I'm going to talk about that in the future in a more codified sense. But it does speak highly of Valve's selective quality control, that they're just doing it here when there are many instances where they should have. And basically, if Valve's finger is on the denied button, can they press it a few more times for some shit that it's already selling, that people are already making money off, that actively, you know, fucks over customers, that is being deceptively sold, that is scamming the customers, that is being cobbled together with no effort from pre-bought assets, with no cohesion, no sense of quality. You know, that to me is more offensive, really, than some, you know, infantile fucking violent game. That in the year 2014, following games like Postal and Manhunt and everything, isn't really that shocking, really. It's, you know, it's kind of desperate. And I'm not offended by that as much as I'm offended by games like Air Control going up on Steam, games like Guise of the Wolf, games like Day One Gary's Incident, like actual shite that goes up. Not just shite, not just bad games, but something that transcends a simple matter of quality and ends up into actual, if this was a physical product, it would be recalled from store shelves level of fucked. You know, Valve more or less squandered its opportunity to say that it cares about what goes up on its storefront. It doesn't. And that's just made all the more glaring by this. So yeah, that's more or less my thoughts. Generally, whether or not hatred actually goes up on Steam or not, I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. It could go up tomorrow, it could never go up at all. You know, the game will still be available to buy, especially since it's a digital game anyway. It's not gonna be unobtainable when it's out, and you know, I may possibly play it, I don't know. We'll see. There's obviously all sorts of rumours about the developer themselves, which is concerning and stuff, so whether or not you want to actually support the game is something you might want to ask yourself personally. But as I say, the game itself generates no real feelings from me because it's just there, and by today's standards really isn't all that shocking, I don't think. You know, you feel a bit dirty looking at it, I guess. It's all very, but you know, my day won't be ruined if it goes up on Steam or if it doesn't. But I did want to talk about just Steam's wider behaviour this past year and a half, 2 years, and how this just seems kind of inconsistent with that. And really, rather than argue for hatred being allowed to go up, I'd rather argue for some actual fucking quality control, so that we don't have things like Desert Gunner, there's another one, go up. Fucking Desert Gunner. You ask me what fucking offends my sensibilities. Jesus Christ.